That was it. I got it. I just wanted to end this one. So this is a pickup, right, from it's virtual reality 1.2 of a billion coming up. Well, I'll always tip into this a bit because that's where we're going, right? Virtual, as well as it's virtual anyway. But what I wanted to just end this one on was the subtle energies. It's just a little, making the subtle energies tangible. And so I'm just going to kind of explain how it happened to me. Because the subtle energies, I'm talking about the body, right? And your relationship with everything, nature, right? Everything. So that the experience, the feel of it, right? Because it's about feeling it. Um, how it happened to me initially, and it was, again, I'm going back because I kind of tried to get this one out many times in the last one, but never quite got there because I got kind of sidetracked by um, anecdotes, which is the way I do it. You're going to get used to it eventually. There's nothing wrong. We live in a world where you're expected to uh, have a soundbite which makes sense, in like in a sentence. And we don't live in that world. That's not the real world. That's the corporate world where and everything works to that. So we don't live in that world. So I'm kind of excuse me. I'm not really. Um, I'm from somewhere else, right? So I'm kind of giving you a different thing to this. Everything has to be understood right within the line. It doesn't. There's no such thing. Poetry is. I haven't got a song. It's kind of a bit complicated up here. Uh, to have my guitar up here, I might do occasionally, but it's more comfortable not to. I always worry about things like that. Yeah, making how it happened to me the making the subtle tangible real. So it happened to me, and it's all part of the same story. In that, I came to the end of my line with this planet about 15 years ago. I told you, and I went a different direction. I've been different directions quite a lot, so I'm used to different directions. And I came to the end of the one where I kind of like saw the dystopia that we had already. It's already been written about. The conspiracy is nothing new. It's already been touched upon by many people, and you only have to listen to some of the best writers to get it. Huxley warned you. The conspiracy started with Kennedy. That's when no, it started before that with Eisenhower. That was when the beginnings of the modern day came at the end of the Second World War, and so he had Eisenhower warn people about something. There's two things he was warning about. One was he was supposed to meet the aliens, right? That was one thing. And then was MJ12, right, which he set up. Now you can write a lot of things into that. The 12, okay, it's a kind of important number. Yeah, it goes with Jesus, doesn't it? But who believes in Jesus? I don't. I don't think anyone believes in Jesus. And no, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't. He wasn't here to save you. So, and then you had Kennedy. Well, Kennedy, then that's when conspiracy started, and there's some really good films around the 60s and 70s, picking up on all sorts of things that were going on in the American government at the time. So like, the subject has been on the table for a long time, and it's like, you think there's no corruption? Please. Uh, so, and then it went on. Okay, so it's been there before. It's nothing new to any of this. Don't get kind of rattled by kind of what's happened right now. Is that because so few people have really been picking up on the dark agenda, if you like, because so few people. We're now living in a world where it's becoming blatantly obvious what's going on, and it's not pretty. And some people are going to get caught by it, absolutely no doubt. I might, but I'm not worried. That's just the whole point. Don't worry. It's not about a worry because we don't live. We live in an illusion. It's an illusion. Anyway, it's subtle, right? Because the body is complex, and much more complex than we know. Because what we come here with is a skin that has bog standard settings, and it needs upgrading. And that's the whole point of being here, is to upgrade from your bog standard settings. It's the same as any virtual game. You don't get to a higher level until you complete the level you're on. Well, we're in that. This is just a much more. It's the best game you'll ever play, man. We're connected to somewhere interdimensionally, and the only way to get it is to begin to understand the subtlety of the body, mind, body, mind. And the way you do that is by, well, the way I did it, right? It happens quite naturally, really. I just had it with the world of, it was like, I can't work anymore. Well, why should anyone work 40, 60, 80 hours a week for some, just to earn a bit of money to pay off the landlord who's breaking your fucking back? It's madness. All this is madness. I had a good job whilst I had family, but I recommend don't go family. Why would you want to bring children into this planet? It's a joke. I did. Most people do. It's all right. We all go there, but we kind of, you kind of ride a wave, right? And you step in and out of things. And the marriage story is all about stepping out mostly. You step in, you step out. That's go to church, kind of do your contract, right? It's a joke. So I'd had it, everything. I had it with everything. So one of the things I did, right, because it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and been doing some research on whatever, I can't remember now. There was lots of things I did, and I just thought, okay, hang on, I'm tired. I'm just gonna I'm going into my room. I'm gonna turn the light out, and I'm just gonna rest, right? Because I wasn't that tired. I was gonna sleep. I just wanted to rest my body. Okay, so I went in there. Now I had lots of things in my head, right? Because by that time I had already hit, loads of stuff, right? And I went into a kind of not, I don't meditate like the group meditation. I don't do that kind of thing. I meditate in my own way. It's like stepping out is stepping out. So you have to find your own way of stepping out. And so I call it meditation, but it was resting. In fact, that's the way I meditate on my back. Thank you. That's the way I do yoga on my back. Thank you. That's the way I do Buddha on my back. Thank you. My Buddha is sitting upright, right? But you can do it on your back lying down. You don't have to be in any particular position. There's no rules. And I was lying down. So I went lying down, right? And my mind started to lose, right, itself, which is a good thing. And in that process, right, something happened, right? And you call it paranormal if you like, but something touched me. Now it was just a little tiny, my leg. It was touching my leg. Something was touching my leg, and it wasn't long. It was just brief, but I noticed something. Or at least I thought I did. Maybe I thought I was kind of, like delusional. But it could have been. But I thought, I don't know. So I'm just gonna, next time this happens, I'm gonna take note of it, see if it happens again. Subtle, right? Because the touch is true. I've done it, 15 years now. So it's like I'm saying to you, the touch is true. And this is what I mean by subtle. Because the physical body is full of all sorts of subtleties which we don't learn in the West, right? And these kids meditate at school, they're taught to. So they're kind of one step ahead on that level. I'm not saying they're ahead, I'm saying they're one step ahead on that level. And because at the end of the day, as the Kabbalah says, don't get worried about the satanic side of, what the Christian religion kind of says of the Kabbalah. It's not. It's the same as geometry. It's like subtle. It's abstract. It's on its own. It doesn't have. It's not associated. Geometry is not associated to any corporation which have taken over the whole lot, including the sun. Okay, it's just a joke. It exists without any of that. So the same as geometry. And what I was saying about subtle, right, is that I'm not explaining it in full now, but what I'm saying is there's a little plateau you get to where the subtle becomes tangible, real. Okay, so and what that plateau is the level ground upon which the next layer of subtlety is built up. What you're doing is you're building on complex. You're opening up complexities between yourself and higher space, and you have to let that grow. That's a growth thing, and really, getting in touch with what else is going on in this universe, right, which is interdimensional, is getting in touch with those subtleties. And it's about touch. It's about feeling it. And then on the back of that, well, there's all sorts of other things, right, which come into play, right, because the world's not simple. Yeah, it is simple. We've got black and whites everywhere, yin and yang. We've got the masculine and the negative, positive and negative. We've got a battery that has a positive and a negative, and a coil of some kind inside, which kind of produces together another energy, right, from a positive and a negative, right? So each one of us is one half aspect of something else. You can put masculine and feminine on it. You can. But so what I'm saying about is think about that. You can put masculine and feminine on it. You don't have to. But Kundalini is really about masculine and feminine within. And the picture that was on my timeline the day before yesterday kind of gives you the sense of where subtle eventually goes to, because it's powerful, right? And that's what Kundalini is. It's powerful. It's a spiral snake up inside, and if you really want to get in touch with yourself, you start feeling that inside. But you have to begin with something you don't know, and no one knows in the West. Well, a few do, but not many, because it's not taught. It's not normal practice. Normal practice in the West is to kind of get up, go to school, learn a few things, get a job, get a mortgage, get a wife, have kids, and then make sure you got a funeral plan, and then die. So it's basically birth, shit happens, and well, you're meant to do that before you actually die, because there's another story to it, but you won't get onto it unless you step out. We'll come back. See you later.